Well, hello again. I'm back with another message for you today. And I thought I'd take the time to be outside today since it's such a beautiful day. You can see the beautiful blue sky in the background. If you remember from last time, my message was from James, and it was chapter 1, verses 2 to 3. It was a message regarding about our test of our faith, how it's going to make you walk stronger in your walk with God, the more that we trust Him. Well, this week I'm going to continue in James. This time will be James 1, verses 5 through 8, which will continue on a little bit with that theme. So, what James chapter 1, verses 5 through 8 says is, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. But let him ask in faith with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways." So, first let's look at verse 5 of, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him." So what that's talking about there is for those of us, as all of us will be at some point going through trials, that those of us that are going through the trials, we need the wisdom from God. They need wisdom to know how to best deal with whatever it is that will be going on, or whatever the trial is we're going through. We need that wisdom. And God gives us the wisdom so we can choose to do what is right. And it is that wisdom that will give us peace in the times of those trials. So in verses, we'll talk a little bit about verses 6 through 8. 6 through 8 it talks about we have to ask in faith without doubt. If we don't, it's like we're not going to receive anything from God. It talks about a double-minded man that's unstable in all his ways. So in verse 6 to 8, faith is not just hoping that your prayers will be answered. Faith is believing. We have to believe that these prayers will be answered. We can't just go to Him and hope that they will. We have to believe. Every day we have faith with different areas of our lives. Whether it's go out in the morning and our car is going to start, we go to turn on our lights, we have faith that that's going to happen. But when it comes to challenges that are thrown at us daily, are we asking God for help because we believe He is going to help me or us, or is it a last resort? And we need to have confidence when we are in prayer with God, asking Him to guide us in whatever direction He will have us to go, and then just trust in Him. It is then that we will see great things happen in our lives. In verse 8 talks about double-mindedness. And what is this double-mindedness? It's another word for doubt. We are choosing to believe in something other than what God says. Doubt is the basis for everything else that will take place in our lives. If we don't have confidence in God in our lives and a strong foundation that we can trust in Him, then we are going to be battered around by everything going on in our lives. I want to leave you with this. Each and every one of us are busy, and life is passing us by so fast. Each and every day we have so much on our mind. Our schedules are hectic, and kids, and just life issues. And then out of the blue, life throws us the proverbial curveball. How are we going to handle all that? And we know the answer. We have to have faith that God is going to be there for us and answer our prayers. We need to take the time out of our busy schedules and just bow down before our God and talk to Him on a regular basis. Our conversation with God should not just be about the problems going on with our lives, like it usually is when we go to Him. But we should also be thanking Him for what He has done for us. During this last week's Sunday night family devotional that we have, my daughter Alicia told us about a quote that really made her think about the way she prays and thanking God for her things. The quote she heard, and I believe it was at Grace or somewhere, she couldn't remember, was, If we were to wake up one morning with all the things we thanked God for, how much would we have? And that really puts it into perspective. We really, most of the time, we seem to go to God in prayer. It's asking for help, but we really need to thank Him for what He has done, because He's so gracious and He's done so much for us. I want to leave you with some food for thought for next week's message. Let's say you're walking along a river and you saw someone in the river struggling. They need help. They might look like they're drowning, thrashing around in the water. What would you do? So that's the question for next week. Will be the kind of the topic. And then I learned a new word this week. That was somebody posted a Facebook page, and it's an interesting word. Didn't know this word before, and we'll learn more about it next week. But the word I learned is proselytize. So the word of the week is proselytize, and I want you to ponder that question I said, and then until next week, if we can just all trust in Him, life will be good.